Okay. So this is going to be my third part of my series of what's going on with Trump, Zelensky, Russia, Putin, and Chernobyl. So I just have to say this. This is my third episode. My throat is killing me. I want to keep going, so I just kind of don't get rattled. I don't want to keep continue this tomorrow. So I am going to discuss how what Trump is doing, how the game is played, how many people live by this whole notion that if there's a large enough secret, there would be somebody to snitch. That's not actually how it happens. We do this, it's been done for hundreds, possibly thousands of years. There's always been a good guy, there's always been a bad guy, there's always been a handler in between, there's always a middleman. Trump has been in play for 30 plus years to get to this point. When Obama came onto the scene, and this was something that I had to look into, not now, but a while back, nobody knew who he was. He was just like some random dude, and he had this electrifying speech, and everybody's like, oh my God, who's the black guy? Anyway, long story short, he winds up winning the election for 2 terms, right? One of the worst presidents, by the way. The drone strikes, the mass immigration, the treatment of journalists. It just goes on and on and on. Anyway, he was a good person to put in place because he wasn't heard of. Then we have Kamala Harris, and she comes into play. And, it was different circumstances, of course, but she comes into play. And then nobody was really talking about it, but she was talking on Obama's behalf back then. There's videos of her campaigning for Obama. So everything has a connect in its own specific way. When you become president, it's something completely different. Your connects are, basic connects, but it goes way further. Trump is not doing what Harris did, what Obama did, even the nepotism with George H.W. No, 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 no. It goes way past that. So he has literally been in the game with Russia since, I want to say 1977, 1978. Anyway, so there's an article, and this was back, oh my God, this is so long ago. This is 2016. So here it is. And I'm going to butcher names, so sorry about that. Czechoslovakia spied on Donald and Ivana Trump. Communist era file show. The Secret Service of Communist era Czechoslovakia spied extensively on Donald Trump. It has emerged with one informant alleging in 1977 that the future U.S. president elect is completely tax exempt for 30 years. The Stasi, oh my God, the words. Anyway, it's called STB, the then Communist States Intelligence Agency, which dealt with any activity considered dangerous to the state or Western influence, spied on Trump and his Czechoslovakian born wife, Ivana, in the 1970s and 80s when she made regular trips back to her father. Stamped, quote, top secret, and bearing the code name Slovaks, man, I know I'm not saying that right, quote, America, and, quote, capital, the file details the obsession Czech spies had in gathering as much information about the U.S. property tycoon as possible. Uncovered by Czech television and the German tabloid Bild, B-I-L-D, the dossiers include one that concentrates solely on the prenuptial agreement made between the Trumps. In the case of marriage breakdown, he agreed to pay her $1 million. An informant with the cover name Lubos reported to his superiors in 1977 how Ivana had begun work at a petrol station in Austria, where she had met her first husband in 1968. She then immigrated to Canada, where she married Trump. Another spy reported in 1977 that Trump's businesses were, quote, absolutely safe because they received commissions from the state. The informant added, quote, another advantage is the personal relationship he has with the American president, presumably Jimmy Carter, and the fact that he is completely tax exempt for the next 30 years. During this year's election campaign, the New York Times obtained tax records that the paper said showed Trump could have used a $916 million loss reported on his 1995 tax return to avoid paying income tax for up to 18 years. Asked about the story during one of his presidential debates, Trump acknowledged this was accurate. In 1988, a further informant working for the cover named Milos reported that Trump was being put under considerable pressure to run for the U.S. presidency. The Czech authorities should be made aware, he said, that Ivana was under pressure herself to not put a step wrong during visits to Czechoslovakia, or else she'd risk putting her husband's potential candidacy in jeopardy. Any false steps of hers would be incalculable consequences for the position of her husband, who intends to run for president in 1996. He added that Trump was convinced he would win. How is this information not major information? He has been in play this whole time. This is where I get this line of thinking where his father was ruthless, brutal, but he knew how to make money. Then you get that one kid, right, that you have to give the money to. His brother was an alcoholic who passed away. His nieces, his nephews, his cousin, everybody hated his guts. Everybody knew he was dumb. But dumb in his own way. Not dumb like intellectually dumb. Just easily manipulated. They watched him. They observed him. His wife, and I'm literally telling you how this all played out. His first wife was involved in getting him where he is today. He's not lying about World War III. He's not lying about tariffs. He's not lying about where he's taking the United States. He's not lying at all. He's known this whole time. And if anybody remembers the dossiers from him in supposedly him being in rooms with prostitutes and there's a pee situation, whatever. They have stuff on him. And he's so full of himself that he's concerned with it. He would rather everything go to shit than anybody find out very specific things about him. And I don't know why you would be concerned with that. There's already rumors that his health is declining, that he has dementia, that he shits in his pants. There's nothing that nobody's not saying about him. He walks around with orange paint on his face. Who has some kind of like limit? If I walked around and I was orange all day, why would I care how anybody feels about me? The stuff that he has on him is more devastating than that. He was mentioned 64 times in the Epstein files. This goes way deeper. And what I'm reading to you now from 2016, they've had this stuff on him since then, and it's just been gathering. To the point where you take somebody who's obviously a sociopath and then telling him, I'm going to tell everybody. Like, okay. So, QAnon's not really discussed the way that it used to be. But whatever this dude is hiding, whatever they have on him is brutal. That he would take the entire country down. The entire country. Because that's exactly what's happening right now. His first wife, Ivana, died, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. She's buried on the golf course in Mar-a-Lago. On the golf course. Not beside it. Not near it. Not in a cemetery. On the golf course. Listen, if I was pissed at you, or if I didn't like you, or you have caused nothing but chaos in my life, then yes, I would probably bury you where I have to go and hit a ball, suck at it, and then cheat. This is so much deeper. This is why I'm not taking what he's doing and or saying for granted. He told us, and now he's doing it. But it gets even worse than that. So I'm going to do my next part. If I don't get some water, whatever. I'm glad that you're here. Please, I have a part 2. This is part 3. I'm going to be doing part 4 in a couple of minutes. Gather all of this information. Take it all in because it's a lot. It's a lot. But it literally tells you why everything's going, why half of the country doesn't believe, because it sounds ridiculous. First of all, it sounds impossible for somebody to get this far. But we're not talking about regular people. We're talking about an entire country. We're talking about 2 countries, 3 countries, 5 countries, 10. We're talking about NATO. We're talking about the World Health Organization. We're talking about everybody. We're talking about Israel. We're talking about Africa. We are talking about Mexico. We're talking about Canada. Everybody right now is involved with something, with somebody who has been a Russian asset for 30 years. Just because Fox isn't saying it, just because MSNBC isn't saying it, doesn't mean it's not a fact. It doesn't mean that there isn't a paper trail. There is. When I bring my information to you guys, I'm not taking the regular steps because that doesn't make sense. I'm just going to get the same information you guys are getting. I want to go above and I want to go beyond. I want to get papers for 2016, 2010, 2006, all of it. So that you can make the same connects that I'm making right now and that I want to bring to you. And this is just a joke, but seriously, I'm not going to kill myself. So if something happens to me, you already know what happened. Ha! No, seriously. It turns out to be something that will eventually make sense, but how we're all going to pay the price. We're all going to pay the price. So I'm going to do my next, hold on. I'm going to do my next episode. I'm already 12 minutes in. I'm going to do my next episode. It's going to be about how things are playing out now, how it's coming out now that Trump may be a Russian asset. And then after that, martial law. Now it's going to be 5 parts. Martial law and how this is going to be a continual shit show for people in the United States who thought that there was no way that it could happen here. And now this is our day-to-day lives. This is now our new life. The same way that we avoid giving 10 cents to some country that needs it and their children are starving. We have been a third world country. Us having the media that we have now is making it seem like it's not. This is our life and this is how it's going to keep going. So instead of paying attention so much to what Trump is doing, which he's already doing it, but where Russia wants to take it. Because right now, we live in a world where Russia will, at some point, be able to put their tentacles into this country and the direction that it's going. And how Musk is involved. So, my name is Trinity. This is Lovespiracy. I am so happy that you're here. I hope that you're learning things. I hope that you're taking it in. It's a lot. I know. My throat is killing me. I have to do at least 1 or 2 more episodes. This is so important, and I really feel like I have to get that out there. So I'll see you in a minute, and be here for part 4. Bye.
If you enjoy our content, please show your support by liking, sharing, and following. Our strength is in independent media. Our voices matter. Thank you for making this possible.